Hey everybody, this is Dark Side Elite here. I'm sorry for the technical errors. I just woke up, just got out of the shower. I just want to get myself fresh and firm before I go and make myself a breakfast. I wanted to actually do this video pretty quick because we finally got we got the next Flash episode that happened, last night. That was the first episode we've had since they announced ever since the last episode. I think it was like March 12th or something like that. That was our last. That was our last. Let me see. Let me look that up again. I'm sorry. I think it was March 17th. I think it was March 17th since our last one, or March 10th. It was like one of our last episodes. And we're like, wow, they're on a huge break, and we're like, okay, they must be on their spring break, and then by April we're gonna see them back again. But no, they were talking about they're gonna be put on hold until a definite because of this stinking sniffle flu virus. Now, despite again, however you guys feel about the virus itself, it's ruining our entertainment because we now do not have any levels of escape. We got old stuff to watch, and sometimes watching old stuff is like, oh my god, I've seen this episode, I know what's gonna happen, this, and this. But anywho, I mean, you see other guys right now. I don't watch any of the other. I used to watch them, but now I'm not because they don't speak the truth. Honestly, they speak in riddles, and they hold back a lot of information and make you feel like you're an idiot because there's stuff that they can hide and say, well, I have this information, I can't reveal it or I'm going to lose my source. Well, then don't make any videos. Don't make any videos until this gets announced. That's how I can say it. Don't make any videos because the more they keep making videos, then you're gonna be like, that's stupid. And then again, if it sounds like the audience might be finding that to be stupid, I wouldn't even talk about it. But they want to make their money, and again, that's their business. That's their business. They're YouTubers, and they want to make money. Hence why there's the one of them is talking about they want to have merch, and the other one is just talking about his personal opinion. The other one does the same freaking thing too. But I don't watch them anymore. I don't watch them anymore. A couple of them are pretty cool guys. One of them I just do not like at all. I just think that he's an idiot. Um, Mainly for the fact is he's not a Flash fan. He's not. He is not a true Flash fan. This dude does not know jack squat about the Flash. I can throw him under the bus when it comes to that stuff. I can ruin him, and it's terrible when the fan knows more about the character than most of the people when they talk about it. And that's why I have a lot of I have a lot of um viewers that say they love the elongated content. I know someone wants it a little bit shorter. I know that sometimes I should have a little bit shorter, but I like to get the information out, and I like to get information out, and I like to give it in a concise way so you understand my point of view. Because just by making it 10 to 12 minutes, that's not enough for you to sit down and want to digest on. That's just, you could stop the video and restart it, restop the video and restart it, and then listen to everything so you guys get a good understanding of what I'm trying to say. Making it like 6 7 minutes, that doesn't help anything, especially like a review, because a review of a TV show or a movie should be pretty long because you should have a lot of stuff you want to say. And and on top of that, with the way everybody's indoors now, doing a 6 minute video, and I understand from their point of view, like, well, dude, if I do like a 40 minute, I have to do all that editing. So what? So what? This is your business. This is your business. You have a much bigger fan base now because everybody's indoors, and you just want to keep doing 6 minute videos. No, make them content longer, get your information out, let people digest what you're talking about, and let them make the decision. You shouldn't dictate, you shouldn't go by that merry standard of making it 6 minutes long just because you don't want to do all the editing. So what? You're at home. What are you doing? Well, I got a life. Your life should be on YouTube now because you got nothing else going on. You can't go outside. You can't go to. You don't have a day job. I had a day job. Hence why my videos were. I tried to get as many videos out as I possibly could. I said it. I have a day job, and it's a 40-hour a week day job. Okay. So this one's gonna be about the Flash, season 6, episode. I forgot what episode it is. Um, and that's not because I don't care. Let me look it up because I rather for you guys to know that I do care. So let me see. Let me see. Yeah, you hear me typing. Let me see. Okay, so it was episode six. I mean, I'm sorry, season six, episode 16. The last one was wow, February 18th. That was the last episode. And then we had another episode back in December 3rd. That was the last temptation of Barry Allen. Okay, so now there's a lot of stuff talking about that they're going to be cutting down season 6 and everything. So Den of Geek did it. I don't read Den of Geek. No, no thank you. So it was 16 and this was called The Long Kiss Goodnight. Oh, So Long and Goodnight. So Long and Goodnight. Now, um uh let's get into it. Okay. Now, this is season 6, episode 16 called The So Long and Goodnight. It's mainly about Joe West and we've known for about a while now, and I mean like months, that a few of the characters from a few of the actors from the show are going to be leaving. I don't think that this person I'm talking about is leaving, but we heard about it for a few months. Also, on top of that, that this actor got hurt. Now, the actor that got hurt was Jesse L. Martin. He had a back injury. He got a back injury, and that's why in a lot of episodes he was sitting down and such. He wasn't really being very active. And then when he finally was able to get up and walk around, it was at another episode. So it looked like they were trying to. He was on the set, but then he did a limited amount of scenes, and then he went back home to recoup and get his back taken care of. Now, Jesse L. Martin is also on Broadway. He does a lot of Broadway. So it makes a lot of sense that they're writing him off right now. Because right now, in all honesty, the Joe West character has ran its course. They don't really need Joe West on the show. The only reason why he's there is mainly because he's a long stay. A lot of people love his character, and they don't understand by keeping his character around, what are you gonna have him do? Do cop things? Then he's gonna be bored. You're gonna be bored of him. And then on top of it, the way they wrote the way they wrote this series is, it's everybody has their own storylines, but that can run its course also, because then it's like, what else can you have them do? Cisco's character completely ran its course. They don't really need Cisco there anymore. The way they wrote his character is, he was meant to become Vibe. Now the character doesn't want to become Vibe anymore, so why is he there? He's there to be their new Felicity? No. Give him something, give him a new renew of his character, and try to get it back as a hero. There's a lot of things they could do with him. Now, also, Danielle Panabaker, they're talking about that she wants to walk away for a little bit. Now, again, what have they done with her character? They finally got her not to become this killer and this and that. Her id is now becoming more of a basically domesticated. That's because she has her own life and everything else. They need to figure out what to do with this character. They don't know what to really do with Caitlin Snow, and having it as a split personality is wrong in my personal opinion. I think that they need to split the character. They need to split Caitlin Snow and Killer Frost, because having her do this Incredible Hulk or Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde situation is going to get really boring. And then on top of that, having the character consistently do that all the time in an episode is redundant, because then it's like, well, we need Caitlin. And it's like, okay, well, if Caitlin, if she has the powers, but she's still Caitlin, then why the heck do we need Killer Frost? That's why I feel that they're just throwing things at us to see what people like, and it's not for some people they're loving it because it's different, but there's no long-term storylines. There's no long-term storylines with her. She can't have a relationship because everyone's going to be bored of the relationship. Everyone's going to be pissed off, like, oh my God, they're putting her in a relationship. Well, what if the relationship is good? What if she gets a goodness out of this relationship? They can't bring in Robbie Amell anymore because the character's dead. The character is officially dead in the universe. The only way they can bring back the Firestorm character, and it's actually Robbie Amell's character, is They have to do something different and actually send her to another universe. That's the only way. Is the only way. She has to leave the show. There's no way they're going to continuously keep doing time travel because the way they're doing this storyline now. They're not going to do any more time travel. They're not going to do any more dimensional hopping. They're going to keep everything separate. But now the individual out there who bringing out this video, his video saying that they're going to do a new crossover with the Stargirl universe. I'm like, no, stop doing that. They have a gigantic universe to play with. They got plethora of things they can use, but you're going to now do another amount of dimension hopping again? That is so stupid. They already stated that Stargirl is in its own universe. It's Universe 2 now. It's Earth 2. This is Earth Prime. They're Earth 2. Why are you now doing another set of dimensional hopping? Stop it. Let it go. Have Flash only do things on his universe. You got a plethora of things you can do. You could say that freaking the League of Shadows is being brought out. Okay, what's going on with the League of Shadows? There's a lot of things they can do. They got the Batman universe to play with. They can utilize that. They got the Black Lightning universe. Why can't they utilize those universes that's within this planet, within this universe, as a way of saying, okay, now we got more stuff to play with. Why are we dimension hopping again? That is the reasoning why Flash is slowly declining for a lot of fans, because they're throwing things at the wall and not and letting it stick, and they're going to that. Now let's get into this episode. Because this episode to me is a good episode, but it's a horrible world building episode. It's making everything they're doing for this half of the season, because of this coronavirus, it's making everything feel like what the F. To me, it feels like it's a what the F. Now, I did enjoy the episode. I am not saying the episode is horrible. What I'm saying is that there's certain things in this universe that they're just death-defying it. Now, I don't know how you guys feel about it. Me personally, I hate the fact that they gender swapped Mirror Master. They brought in the Sam Scudder character, who was the original Mirror Master, who had powers, and now he's gone. He's gone. Gone. Why? Why couldn't you just bring him back? Oh, I know, because you want to do an all-female rogues. That's what they're doing. That's what I feel like they're doing. You gave us a gender-swapped Weather Wizard, now called Weather Witch. You gender-swapped... you have a gender-swapped Top. They're probably going to bring her back. You gender-swapped Mirror Master, Evan McCullough, who was the second Mirror Master, who used his tech and was a thief and a murderer. Sam Scudder was just a thief. Evan McCullough, the second Mirror Master, was a murderer and a thief. Okay. What next? They're gonna gender swap the Trickster now, because where's Jesse James Jr.? Where's the Axel Rod Rod character? Where is the second Trickster? He's supposed to be still in his universe. We know what happened with the Pied Piper. He's still alive, but he's gay. Actually, no, I'm wrong. The original, I'm sorry. No, I am so wrong. This is where correction comes in. This is my correction. Yes, Rathaway is gay in the comics. He's gay. And the Rogues know it. The Rogues all knew it. He's gay. I'm sorry. He is gay in the comics. He came out as gay in the comics. I think Trickster found out. The first Trickster. The first Trickster. He knew that he was gay. He didn't care. I didn't care. I didn't care about it. It was the Pied Piper. Who cares? He was gay. That's why they all thought that there was no way he could be the guy that took down the Rogues. Yeah, he was the guy who took down the Rogues in the comics. It was great. Read that comic. Read the comic after Final Crisis. Read the comics after Final Crisis when the Pied Piper became a good guy. That was the best series I've seen for the Pied Piper. He was boss. He was boss when that happened. And then right before all that stuff happened, right after he became a good guy, that's when the whole emotional spectrum was looking for new hosts. And then you had Wonder Woman get Compassion, and and Scarecrow got fear, and then Lex Luthor got greed. It was a great storyline too. When the villains got the power of the emotional spectrum themselves. Oh my God, it was some of the best stuff. Scarecrow was the most dangerous, the most powerful one there. He was the true master of fear, and he had the fear ring. Great story. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm going off topic. So this story, I'm sorry. So Long and Goodnight was more about Joe West, and this was talking about the fact that he was going after Joseph Carver, who's supposed to be the leader of Black Hole, and he was getting closer and closer and closer to this situation. So we come to find out that Carver hired Ragdoll to basically go after Joe West, to kill Joe West. Now, here's what I think of the Joseph Carver character. I think he's probably one of the best villains they have right now. You understand who he is. I understand people are gonna feel like, oh man, he's geeky, he can't do nothing. No, the dude is actually he's like the king. No. He's like Lex Luthor. That's pretty much what he's like. He's like Lex Luthor, but not Lex Luthor. He's like Lex Luthor. He's confident. He knows what he can do. He has everything at his disposal. He's rich. He's powerful. He has one of the most advanced tech companies in the world. You don't think that? Yeah, no. They made him very, very, very good. And my problem with this whole half of this season is, in season 1 we had the birth of Bloodwork. We knew what this character was about. We understood what his situation was, and then he's completely gone. They erased him. He's gone. We don't know nothing about his character anymore. It's like they basically said, "Nah, Bloodwork. What's a Bloodwork? Wow." And then they introduced us to the female Mirror Master, Eva McCullough. It sounds like she was trapped in this universe, in this mirror world. She pulled Iris into this mirror world, and the situation of her character made sense. Like, she's a victim, and this is all about Joseph Carver, which will be great. And then it could give birth to her as the Mirror Master. But through these episodes, you're starting to see that nope, she's just as evil as he is, and she's justifying the fact that she wanted to save the world with her technology, and that's what's making her go mentally insane. That's what I'm getting from it. You can get something completely different. That's fine. But I think that they're ruining this character. They should have honestly made it to make it look more like she is a victim, and then made Joseph Carver the overarching villain. And then when it comes to it, you kind of find out that nope, all of this was all her, and Joseph Carver was trying to prevent her from ever getting out because he knew that she was crazy. He was doing all these bad things to make sure that she would never ever get out. And he's not the good guy. He's not the good guy. No, he's as greedy and everything else as he claims to be. He's greedy. He wants power. It's fine. But he's doing everything he can to make sure she does not get out of that mirror. He knows what she will do. He knows what she would do. But the way that they're writing it is that, did the two of them love each other? Did they truly love each other? Did he truly love her? But this episode really kind of made it sound like that, nope, he didn't give two craps about her. But I'm thinking like, no, there's a scene in this episode that shows that he's sitting down in a chair before Joe arrives, and he's staring at a picture of him and her, and he's looking very solemn, like he misses this is something he missed. And the way he talked to her was more like, this might indict you guys, but if you haven't seen Man of Steel, I would say look at Man of Steel. It's like the scene with Zod talking to Jor-El in the scout ship. He says, he goes, I'm marrying my actions with a ghost. So why the heck is he talking to this figment of his imagination? Jor-El is dead. Jor-El is dead. I'm alive. I'm going to save my people. Okay, it's not like that, but the way the scene is framed, it's like that. The way the interactions, it's like that. He's justifying the fact that he wants her out of this whole situation because he thinks she's dead. This is just a figment of his imagination. This is not the real her. The real her is dead. He doesn't realize that no, she is alive. She's in the mirror. He doesn't think that. He thinks that she's just a shimmer of her personality in a mirror. He doesn't see her as really alive. So I'm like, okay, all right. So I'm trying to digest this, but the way they're doing they're doing it like they did the Tinkerer. They're making him very powerful, but they're elongating it out to the point where you're gonna get, by the time you get to the end of this season and you find out that she's the real villain of this whole season, you're gonna be, either you're gonna care or you're not gonna truly care. And at this point, I feel like I don't care about her. I'm more interested in Joseph Carver. And I have a feeling they're gonna either kill him off or he's gonna get stuck in the mirror universe. They're gonna switch, and then she's gonna shatter the mirror and he's gonna be stuck in there forever. Or they're gonna arrest him and he's gonna go to jail. He's gonna slip on a banana peel. And I have a feeling it's gonna be more of the latter. It's gonna be more of the fact that he's gonna slip on a banana peel, reveal something that makes absolutely no sense to his character because he's very intellectual, he's very cautious, and he makes sure that he doesn't leave any loose ends. It's as simple as that. Because there's a scene where he went in and grabbed up Sunshine. Ragdoll grabbed up Sunshine. So it's one of those things that I didn't understand what the heck, why it's hard for them to go, let's continue doing the whole Mirror Master storyline, but let's leave that as she's going to be the next season villain. That to me would make a lot more sense, and I would get right behind that. Let's concentrate on Black Hole and Joseph Carver. He's great. He's a great villain. He gives a lot of credence to Barry Allen and what's going on. He gives a lot of he pushes back against Star Labs, because Star Labs used to be the cutting edge technology in the world. Now it's the McCullough Industries or whatever they have it called as. But right now it doesn't make I don't care about Eva McCullough. I don't care about her character. I think that they're going to elongate her storyline for no apparent reason. I think, in all honesty, they need to get Iris out of that mirror and basically start to kind of wind her story down and focus more on Joseph Carver. Get back into Black Hole, because Black Hole is an organization. It's not just something you just take down in one day. I mean, that makes absolutely no sense to storyline principle. This organization's been around since the particle accelerator blew up. So in my personal opinion, that's 6 years. So why in the hell are they basically why are they going to try to dismantle a whole organization in a snap of a finger? That makes absolutely no sense. I don't want that. I want this organization to stick around for a little bit. Let there be an organization that basically is going to be dealing with the Flash for a while. There's nothing wrong with that. Come on. That's one of the things I hated. Especially now, we got a villain. We got one of Flash's biggest villains. And I'm sorry, Mirror Master's not that dangerous to Barry Allen. He really isn't. He creates illusions. Okay. But he moves too damn fast. So what? Captain Cold is a much more dangerous adversary because he can freeze Flash in his tracks. Zoom is more dangerous. So is Gorilla Grodd. But Mirror Master is a joke. Captain Boomerang is a joke. So it's like, what the heck are they doing? And then now they're gender swapping some of the characters, some of the villains, and it's like, oh my God, stop gender swapping. Stop gender swapping. Give us a good, cool male villain that's not gay. Nothing against Whitworth Miller. He's gay. They wanted to make that happen. Okay, whatever. But I want a cold, distant villain. They go, well, we got Eobard Thawne. No, we don't. Eobard Thawne's gone for all we know. Well, they can't make him gone. Again, you're bringing in a villain that we all know, and you're going to just say, that's it. No. How about we bring in more evil male villains and let them be a long stay? At this present moment of time, Gorilla Grodd is basically semi a good guy. Because he misses the fact that he wants to go home. He wants to go home. But that's the villains. That's the villains of this episode. I didn't like it. And then the whole Sue Dibney and I'm sorry, the whole Sue and Ralph storyline is actually very interesting. It's an interesting storyline, interesting concept because Sue was never like that, and Ralph was semi like the way he is. But Sue was very doty. She's very dotery. She was that simple woman that just basically just liked Ralph. That was it. Now they made her into like she's this massive super spy. Versus Ralph, who's just Ralph. It's like that she's out of his league. But then they're making it like, oh, she's no. Stop doing that. Just make it simple. You're trying to do this cool hip thing, and it makes absolutely no sense in the realm of the Flash. Keep it simple. Now the heroes. Oh my God. My head hurts a little bit on this. One thing, the one thing that they're doing that really is upsetting me is they're making Barry dumb. They're making Barry dumb. Case in point, Ragdoll kidnaps Cecile. That's her name. Cecile Horton West. He kidnaps her, puts her on a C4 bomb, and it's a pressure plated. So Joe and Cecile, when he found her, he kind of had to do the Indiana Jones switcheroo thing. But because the way it was set, it knocked off 2 minutes off of the timer when he only had 5 minutes. It knocked off 2 minutes because it was at 4 minutes and knocked it down to under 2 minutes. So Barry gets there after he defeats Ragdoll, which the story makes absolutely no sense for Ragdoll. But hey, whatever. Okay, now he gets there. And he only has a finite level of speed. Finite. He doesn't have unlimited levels of speed like he used to do, because he's drawing off of the from the Speed Force. And this is where comic book knowledge comes in, and it kind of hurts your head a little bit. Joe is telling Barry, get Cecile out of here. He says no, and he goes, get her out of here now. So instead of Barry running her about 2 miles away, a simple 2 miles, or a mile, or maybe like about a few blocks, just to make sure that the shrapnel doesn't, if it explodes, she doesn't get hit. Okay, about a few blocks away. If you look at the scene, it looked like he ran her to the other side of the city. Why? He only has a finite level of speed. Why would he do that? There's no reason to. He knows in that moment, okay, C4 explodes at this level of a diameter. They're going to be shrapnel. Okay, if I get her about this far away, she'll be perfectly fine. He knows that within a split moment. He goes, okay, cool. So why would he fly her? Why would he run her all the way halfway across the city? And then now he has to run all the way to the other side of the city to go get Joe. He only has a finite level of speed. So why would he do that? That makes absolutely no sense. No sense whatsoever. I could not wrap my head around it. I was scoffing at this. If he was the Flash, he would have grabbed both of them and ran. It seemed to me that they were writing that to make it seem like, okay, let's put him in a situation where he now has to try to run to get to Joe, who basically, on the other hand of the situation, he was reaching down, took the thing off, and he was coinciding himself to death. He was just gonna pull a wire, and if it exploded, okay. If it didn't, he knew what he had to do. I could not wrap my head around that. You know what they could have done? They could have easily did this. They should have took the episode from the cartoon. I think they did it even in the TV show before. He should have been like, he goes, okay, the ocean's that way. He goes, you're gonna try to run this to the ocean? He goes, I could do it. They're going, no, wait a minute, you don't have a certain amount of speed. He goes, I have to do this. I can't let the both of you die. They're going, Barry, no. He goes, I'm sorry. And they go, no, no, Barry. And he runs and he's running. He outruns he sees the thing starting to crack because he's running so fast. He's seeing the thing crack, and the explosion's starting to happen. He's going and he's running and he's seeing going zzz, 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 and he just keeps on running and he finally gets all the way to the ocean, runs, throws it, gets slides off of the water, and then tries to outrun the event horizon as it's exploding. And he doesn't get it out of it fully to the point where it actually hurts, and he flies and smashes into like a newspaper stand, destroys it basically, and his suit's all ripped up. He's wriggling on the ground. He's hurt bad. His healing's not kicking in like it's supposed to be. It slowly is, but it's not at its full speed. So he's not at, no pun intended, it's not at its full potency. So he's healing very, very slow. That would have made a lot of tension. Like, he might not outrun that explosion. He might not outrun this. That would have been a whole lot better. And then by the time when everything's taken care of, he already made the decision with Cecile. I have to go into witness protection, because he went after Joseph Carver, and Joseph Carver wants him dead because Joe is spearheading this investigation against Joseph Carver and trying to make him the guy that's going that black hole. Now, again, I have no problem with that. That makes sense. Make an investigation against this guy. But my problem is that with that scene alone, you kind of ruined Joe West's character. You made it seem like he basically was going to put his family, he was going to basically coincide himself to death. Well, you could have had Barry say, no, I'm taking control of this situation. I'm taking it out of Joe's hands because I'm a hero. And it's nothing against Joe. It's mainly the fact is that Barry's a hero. He took the situation out of Joe's hands like any hero would, like a cop would. Joe usually always takes control out of Barry's hands because he's a cop. That's what he was supposed to do. But now Joe is looking at his quote unquote son. I don't care, his son-in-law. That's his son-in-law. That's not his son. That's not his birth son. That's his son-in-law. I'm not being cold about it. I'm being logical about it. That is his. It's honestly gross that he calls himself his son and he's marrying his daughter. It's gross. Okay, I'm sorry. To me it's gross that those two have been together that long. And they were like brother and sister, and then now they're deciding they want to get together. When in first season she felt like he was the little brother. That was gross. Okay, sorry, that's how I feel about it. If you guys disagree, you guys disagree, but it's gross. So then. Again, you took the control out of Joe's hands, which is fine. You want to do that to showcase that Barry is a hero. He's a hero. Take the control out of Joe's hand. Don't let Joe make a decision that's going to ruin his life. Barry coincided himself to becoming this hero. He knows what sacrifice is about, and Joe can't get angry at him for it. He can't. He can't. The whole crisis event right there should have made them all realize that that Barry has to make these decisions, and they all have to live with them. They all have to live with them. Because that's what heroes have to do. They have to make decisions at that time. If he dies, at least he's willing to do that, make that level of a sacrifice. That's why a lot of us hate the fact that Iris keeps bringing up, you keep making these decisions on their own, because at the time he has to make those decisions. He can't just run home and talk to you or call you on the phone while everything's going to pot and say, hey, you know what, maybe I should, and you're having this long discussion about it. I'm sorry. Having Iris, the daughtery woman or wife that's crying because her husband made a decision without her, is the dumbest storyline to give to Iris West. She understands that. After Crisis, she understood this. Barry has to make those decisions. It has to be made. He cannot stop to think about Iris's feelings. He has to go, okay, All the universe, his city, his family, his future is all melted into this decision. I have to make this decision now. He cannot worry about what Iris thinks about it. And having us go over the drama of it is almost, it beats your head in. When they were first married, I can understand that. I can understand that. But at this point in their marriage, she should be more like, okay, whatever. You made the decision. You have to live with it. I have to live with it. I'm done. Not in a bad way, more in a, okay, cool. It's settled. She understands. He has to make those decisions. But to, sorry about that. But for them to beat that into your head every single time and having to create this drama is draining. It's draining to the storylines. And that's what's ruining the hero side of this. I don't care about Barry and Iris. I don't care about them. They're becoming a nuisance character. They are. They're both becoming nuisances in their marriages, in their marriage. I don't care. Stop having her ream him for the fact that he's making these decisions when, I'm sorry, he has to make those decisions. That's what a hero does. When he puts on that suit and he runs out that door, he's being a hero. Firefighters, military, police officers, their wives or husbands have to deal with that every single day. If they were not ready for that, they should never have gotten married. If Iris is going to keep doing this, and I understand, and here's the thing, and I'm hoping that this is done when we get when I reveal what's going on. Now we all know that the Iris that we're seeing on TV right now that's conversing with everybody in the Team Flash, quote unquote. That's a mirror image of her. It's a mirror image of Iris. Okay. But I'm hoping that the real Iris is not like this. That's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping the real Iris is not like this. That's what I'm hoping. Because if this is what we're gonna get with the real Iris, when all this stuff starts to get wound down, I'm gonna be done with the Flash. I'm gonna turn on something else and basically have it as white noise until the scene is done. Because I'm sick and tired of Iris reaming Barry for making decisions. It's like, wait a minute, he has to. He has to. And also, that's one of the things that I hated about Barry's character. Dude, you put on the suit. You have the superpowers. You have to make those decisions. And if you can't make those decisions, take off the cowl. Don't use your powers. Because you have to make those decisions. And if people around you are going to try to tell you that you have to converge with us about it, it's like, no, screw you. I have to make those decisions now. We all know that. They said Barry is stubborn. No, when it comes to his marriage, he's a wimp. He's a wimp in his marriage. I'm not saying that he needs to yell at Iris. What I'm saying is he needs to put that line and say, listen, when you were telling us we are Flash, you also got to realize that you put on the cowl too. I have to make these decisions, but you're not out there with me making that decision. I'm making a decision for you and for the city and for the world. I have to make those decisions. I cannot think about how your feelings are, or Cisco's, or Caitlin's, or Ralph's, or Joe's, or Cecile's, or anybody else's. I have to make the decision for everybody when I have to make this massive decision. Now, for him, now in the season when he went into the Speed Force because of his mistake, he had to, and she reamed him for it. We're like, what? Why? He had to. He had to. She's like, well, I could have went with you. She would have died. The Speed Force, she would have died. She's not a speedster. And to say that she can go in there with him, we don't know what it's going to do. Now, people in the comments can say, well, we do know. No, the average audience is not going to know. And they overcomplicate this show as it is. They make the physics of the show make absolutely no sense. Some of the physics in here makes no sense. Because it's massive technobabble. So they can get away with it. Because it's a comic book show. No. It has to be based on some level of physics so we feel like, okay, we're getting smarter at the same time, not feel stupid. The thing about Star Trek is the technobabble was intellectual. And it made you understand what the technology they're talking about is. But the level of physics can be explained. It just couldn't be explained at that time because it was much more advanced levels of physics. But now, yeah, we can explain most of the stuff they talked about in Star Trek now. A lot of the physics in the quantum theories, in the quantum physics. That's because it was written very intellectually. Like people understood what the hell was going on. The Flash isn't. It's written to be, oh yeah, it's a slack-jaw yokel comic book story. No, you're writing it dumb. And one of the things is, like I said, why is Barry running her halfway across the city when he only has a finite level of speed just to make that tension like he can't get there in time? You know what you could have done? Him he could have took the whole control out of Joe's hands, ran the bomb all the way to the yeah, what he did with Plastique. What he did with Plastique. He picked her up and ran her all the way to the city, out of the city into the water, dropped her and ran and tried to outrun the event horizon. You could do the same exact thing, but now he doesn't have the same levels of speed. His speed is draining. So he might not escape that explosion, and he doesn't. He gets hurt pretty bad. That's how you could have done it. And Joe's realizing that Barry took the control out of his hands. Now Joe has to think about his family. He's not a superhero. He's a regular cop. And Barry cannot protect him. That's the thing that Barry is trying to get through to everybody. He cannot protect everybody. He cannot protect his city. And no one is understanding that. Everybody's trying to challenge him on things. Joe is trying to be that stubborn cop. It's like, wait a minute, bro. He can't protect you. So if Carver puts you in a situation and Barry has to get there, he may not be able to get there. Barry cannot do his simplistic stuff he used to do. He has to maintain his speed. That's why this episode is poorly written for the grandeur scope of the storyline for all the characters. It seems like everybody's back like 3 seasons ago. We're back to that season. Everybody treats Barry like he's an idiot, like he doesn't know what the hell's going on. We have an Iris that's complaining over the fact that he's making decisions without consulting her. What? Let's get away from this. And then we come to find out that Singh is actually a mirror is a mirror replicant. Oh, great. That's why it made little to no sense why he was conversing with them and he wasn't conversing with Barry like, hey Barry, why can't you blah 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 blah? Because this version of Singh doesn't know that. And then Iris, the real Iris, reveals to this woman that her husband's the Flash. Why? That makes absolutely no sense. She doesn't know this woman. When she got there, she's like, this woman's crazy. All of a sudden, out of nowhere, she's getting sympathetic and goes, you know what? My husband's a superhero, so he might be able to get us out of here. What? I would never reveal anything. I kept that all to myself and figured out what's going on with this woman. She was crazy when she met her. It's astounding. It is very astounding that this is engulfed by the regular audience, and people are saying, "Oh, that's cool," and they're justifying that. Like, well, why wouldn't she? I mean, they're stuck. It's like, she doesn't know her. She barely even knew Allegra or the chick that's dating Cisco. She never told them that her husband was freaking the Flash. Never told them. Never told them. So why now would she just reveal it to her freaking to this strange woman that's stuck in this weird world? And she's thinking, okay, maybe her husband did it. Something is unique about this. Something strange. That's why I was like, this makes absolutely no sense. Why is Iris revealing her husband's secrets? Now, I'm not saying that it surprised Eva, which should have surprised Eva, but Eva was sitting there going, huh. She like she knew. Like she already knew because the mirror replicant Iris found out the fact that that her husband is freaking the Flash and revealed it to Eva. And this was like 3 or 4 episodes ago. This was like 2 episodes ago. Ugh. Okay. So again, I'm very astounded by this episode. It's not bad. It is entertaining. I think you guys will have a very good enjoyment of it. My only problem is that I think that the episode needs a little bit more. Oh, I'm sorry. So yes, I think that the episode needs a little bit more. So please just understand that uh, allergies. So just to let you know that I'm not talking bad about this episode. It just again, it's one of those nitpicky things to me. I'm a big fan of storytelling. You got to give me enthralled by the storytelling. That's what I'm saying. Go watch Black Lightning. It's written a whole lot better because it's written by black people who understand black issues and they understand blacks in a black community in a neighborhood and also a city. So you have a good understanding about these characters. Now there's a couple of things in there. I'm not saying that it's the best written. I'm just saying that it's better written. Flash right now is stagnant. It's going down in quality. There's certain things in there that makes you go, yeah, that's cool, because they're writing people the way people should act. That's how we want. I don't want characters. I don't want hunky dory characters. Ralph is that ground based character that actually I can actually go, okay, I can understand him. His whole storyline with Sue makes sense. It makes sense. The dude is actually a really, really good detective. He's a really good detective. Ralph Denby in the comics is one of the best detectives in the world. He's not as good as a few others, but he's up there, and he's not dumb. So throughout his whole storyline, it actually makes sense. The only thing is Sue's character. She's way out of his league. Way out of his league. I mean, dimensions out of his league. But they're going. Now he's down here. She's up here. Now they're writing her to make her go. Whoop. Like she's just as equal as him. Like she has all these things, but her skill level is way off the charts. So you're not gonna now her character if they ever do get together. But I think that's not gonna happen this season. It should not happen this season. This should happen next season. They should start dating. Now you can see the despairing in their skill level because it's like she's a highly trained burglar and a cat thief and a cat burglar. He's not that good. You're making their skill levels way too much, and she's not going to be that simplistic housewife. That's the way Sue was originally written. She was supposed to be a simplistic housewife. They're not going to write her that way. She's not that type. Her character, the way she's written, is not that type. She's not the type that's going to settle down like that. And you can't switch that on her like that. That makes absolutely no sense. Like she gets like if they do get married, she's gonna settle down, have a kid, and no, that's not Sue. She's gonna enjoy life to the fullest. That's the way her character is designed, and I have a huge problem with that. Not with the fact that they write her that way. It's more the fact is that what is Ralph gonna bring to the table? He's a nice guy, but what is he truly gonna bring to the table for her? She's rich. She comes from a wealthy family. She has all this skill and world knowledge. He what? He's just a simple gumshoe. He's not worldly. He's done things as elongated man. Yeah. But he's not a worldly person like Sue Dearborn is. So how are you gonna write this? How are you gonna make them on equal footing? Does she? I mean, we're starting to see it bud that she really didn't. She actually likes him mainly on the fact that he makes her laugh, and his simplisticness makes it feel refreshing because she's always around rich people and always around arrogant, narcissistic people. So she hates that. But for him to be a simplistic person makes her feel more lowbrow. It makes her feel more normal, like she could be herself. And that's how I see their relationship. But you also got to realize that she comes from a very rich and a very powerful, wealthy family. So she's going to be on the same part. Like she's not going to sit back and want to eat chili dogs and hot dogs all the time and this and that. She's gonna probably want to go to a fancy restaurant. It's one of those give or take how we're gonna have it. They can't just make her just go boop. She just likes all that stuff because then we're gonna be like, that's not her character. That's not how rich women who basically become a cat thief is. I mean, that makes no sense. She's not from the street. She's not like Selena. Selena Kyle is different. Selena Kyle was born on the streets and made herself into the high society. So she can easily mix in there and be done. She's gorgeous. She has a model-esque body, no athletic body. She has a glamour beauty, a model beauty. So she can easily mix in there, but she can be lowbrow. But also, it's the same with Batman. Bruce is the same way. He was in the muck. He understands what the simple person has to deal with. That's why the two of them gel so well. That's why, in my personal opinion, Talia is not like that. Talia is rich, prosper, this and that. That's not Bruce Wayne. Bruce Wayne is like a simple guy who has all the money and the power, but he always still sticks to the simplistic things. Selena is simplistic. Simple as that. That's why the two of them gel so well. But that's why I'm hoping with this whole Ralph and Sue thing, because I'm hoping that they write it very well and they give us something very easy to actually digest, and we're able to understand the growth of their relationship. Now, I'm not saying they need to get together or anything like that. What I'm saying is just let us digest the growth of their characters. Do not make it worse. And I have a feeling, but CW, they're gonna make it worse. They're gonna just focus so much on the relationship and not worry about the character. They're not gonna worry about the character writing and the character growth. That's why we have a bad. It's weird with Barry and Iris, because it is weird. It's very weird with those two. People like the two of them together because they're just a cute couple. In all honesty, there's no chemistry with the two of them. They just seem like they're more like friends that's married. It seems to me that Barry is the one that's pushing the romance more than she is. The more that and what I'm saying is it's the writing. They're making Barry push further into the relationship and also the romanticism and everything else than Iris. Iris just sitting back, just enjoying it. She's not pushing for anything. And that's wrong in my personal opinion. Like, they're in a marriage. She should also push for the romanticism and stuff like that. But the way the two of them together, they don't come off like they don't have that it. Like, here, and I'm gonna end it with this. Tom Welling, Erica Durance. When you see the two of them together, they look like they are married. They look like that's a way a married couple looked. And when you grew with Lois and Clark, and when they hated each other, and then they started to become they became okay with each other, they became friends, and then she started to see him in a different light, and when she learned that he was the Blur, and he was actually the person that saved her life all these times, her care started to become more, she started to truly love him. He did not truly love her until like almost a season later. And then when they finally got together in that scene, when she was like, can you do? He goes, my training with Jarrell made me able to control all things. Like, you're like, wow. So that's what I'm saying. Like, the two of them together, you could feel that passion, you could feel that romance between the two of them, and that's not written. That's how you can feel it off of them. But I don't feel it off of and again, I'm not saying that you should or shouldn't. What I'm saying is I just don't feel that the two of these actors have that chemistry. They don't have that chemistry. They're better as friends. They're way better as friends. And I think that's where they should have been having them this whole time. They should have had them all the way up to Crisis. They should have been friends. And then they get engaged. That's what should happen at Crisis. They should have been engaged they should have been dating throughout that whole thing, from season 3 to this season. For 3 years they should have been dating, and then they talk about marriage, but they should have been dating. No marriage. They rushed into it. Then by Crisis they're engaged. And that's more in the fact is he proposed to her at the season finale of last season. And then this season they're engaged, and then they get quote unquote married in a quick wedding, and he goes off for crisis. That's how they should have done it. So now we're in the first year of their marriage. Within the first year of their marriage. And they're still having bumps and everything else. But they've been dating for this whole time. And that would have been a whole lot better. Here's the thing. Barry, the actor, Grant Gustin, had better chemistry with the woman who played as Patty. He had way better chemistry. Because you could feel it off of the two of them. They had that feel towards each other, and it felt right. And that's exactly how I was like, that's chemistry. But I do not feel it with Grant and Candace. I'm sorry, I just don't. That's why I feel that this feels weird. It feels weird. So I'm going to leave it at that. And like, comment, share, subscribe down below. Hit that bell. And I'll try to get as many videos out. This is the one I wanted to do, mainly because the episode came out, and I feel that this needs to be talked about. It's a review. This is season 6 of The Flash, episode 16, So Long and Goodnight. They wrote Joe's character out for the time being, but I think that's why they did it, because so just so Mark can get a little bit more rest, and also he can go back to LA if he wants to go back to LA. And for the whole coronavirus thing, and they don't have to write him back in for a while. That's how I think they should do it. Just leave him off the show for a little while. Same goes for the actress playing as Cecile Horton. Write her out for a while. Start writing people out and focus on Barry and Iris. That's the story. And I'm hoping that they do that. And I know fans will be like, no, I couldn't. I was like, listen, then you're going to write these characters in corners. And it's not going to be good writing. You got to write certain characters out. I'm not saying they leave forever. What I'm saying is let them go and focus on the main picture. The main picture is called The Flash. It's not called Team Flash. I don't care if you're saying that, no, the whole We Are Flash. No, that has to stop. That has to go. We need to concentrate on Barry Allen. We need to get to Barry Allen's character. Now, there's a thing about what they're going to be doing with the Speed Force, and there's a little thing I'm going to hold off a little bit. And then I want to reveal in about why I think, and this is it. This is the question for you. And I want you to think about this. You got to go back and watch the episode. I think this season, Barry is gonna start to use the negative Speed Force. He's gonna start tapping into the negative Speed Force, because something in the episodes is starting to give me that instance of, I think they're gonna make him tap into the negative Speed Force. Because remember, a lot of stuff has been brooding with him ever since the Death of the Speed Force. Ever since Death of the Speed Force episode, it's been brooding and brooding. It's been massively brooding. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh man, let me give you the right thing. I'm very sorry. The last episode was Exorcism of Nash Wells. That was March 17th. Now this could have been their spring break, but that's okay. But since Death of the Speed Force, they've been he's been brooding a lot of anger, and then on top of that, the whole thing with Grodd, and then the whole situation with Grodd, and then ever since let me see, it was Marathon. So a lot of stuff's been happening for the last six episodes, and it's been brooding in him. I think he's gonna start tapping into the negative Speed Force, and it's gonna start enveloping him, and he's not gonna care. He's not gonna care. He feels like he's tapping into the Speed Force again, and that's all that matters. He could do whatever he wants now, and it's gonna start to eat at him. And it's gonna eat at him like it ate at Nora. So I have a feeling he's going to tap into the negative Speed Force. And I want you to think about that, because if you go back and watch the episodes, and I'm saying ever since Crisis on Infinite Earths part 4 and 5, and since Marathon, something's been brooding in Barry Allen. Something's been brooding in Barry. And I'm hoping they're having him do that. I hope the negative Speed Force is going to be used, because that's going to be awesome. So thank you for joining me, and hit that bell, like I said, and I hope you guys enjoy. Thank you for joining me. I'm sorry this is about an hour long, but this was a video that I like to do. I like to make them long. Sorry. You guys have a great one. Bye.